I have to tell you, this is truly unpleasant time to visit the city. Rome is crowded with pickpocketing, hell on earth. Romans will probably roll their eyes. And how to get additional discounts. 10 things I want you to know before you go to Italy for the first time in this video. Let's dive in. Hi guys, I'm Anna, a travel vlogger who is traveling the countries, and currently I'm in Rome, Italian capital, again. And in today's video I want to talk to you about 10 major things you better know before you start packing your things to go to Italy for the first time in your life. Number 1, and let's talk about the best time to visit Rome and Italy in general. Even before you start booking your tickets to gorgeous Italia, let me tell you something really important. If you want to visit Rome, forget about July and August, as it's excruciatingly hot. 40, 45, 47 degrees Celsius. August in Rome, get ready to melt alive. Well, there is a very good thing. If you dare coming to Rome in July or in August, the prices might be much lower. Like the prices for the hotels, for some attractions, like some museums, as it might be a real hell on earth temperature-wise. I have no idea how you can spend hours and hours queuing to the Pantheon or to see Colosseum with plus 40 degrees Celsius outside. Winter in Rome is actually hit or miss. The weather is usually dry, many attractions are closing earlier winter time, so if you're planning to visit several of them in one day, make sure you will check their opening time beforehand. So what's the best time to visit Rome then? Spring, with the only exception Easter weeks. If you want to see how traditional Easter in Italy looks like, consider subscribing to my channel, as next year my Easter will be in Rome and I will show you everything. And autumn, especially May, together with September and October. All this time the weather is so pleasant, it's dry and the city sparkles under bright skies. Hold on a second, what are you doing? No, don't close your luggage yet. Aspetta, aspetta. What did you put there? Let's talk about must bring and must never take to Rome clothing. If you already know me, you know exactly what I'm going to say now. Bring your most comfortable walking shoes. In Rome, you will find yourself walking a lot, partially because of the lack of a good public transportation system and partially because it's just such a pleasure to walk in Rome. This means that you absolutely must be equipped with a pair of very good walking shoes. A pair that will protect your feet from that cobbles, San Petrini, the surface which is very common and typical all over Rome. In case you thought that you should never wear trainers in Rome if you want to feel like a local, let me tell you something. This is complete nonsense. Trainers are the best type of shoes to wear in Rome, and the only type to avoid if you want to feel fashionable are actual runners. You know, those ones with high sole and neon colors. If you wear fashion trainers like Adidas, Nike, New Balance, you will fit perfectly. And also, dress for the churches. Actually, that might do. I know, it sounds really weird, but I want to warn you. Rome enforces the dress code for the churches in general, and specifically strict dress code for the Vatican in particular. If you don't obey those rules, it might cost you a denial to enter some of the most beautiful churches in Rome. Checklist if you're planning to visit any of Roman churches or the Vatican itself. Shoulders are closed, knees are covered, the hats are removed, bulky handbags and especially backpacks must be removed. Last but not least, while flip-flops are not officially banned yet, I hope soon they will be. They're also forbidden while you are visiting the churches or any other places in Rome. Right, can I say it again, please? Guys, I repeat myself for 1,000,001st time, we are not wearing flip-flops in European fashion capitals. Really, it's just similar to the rule we have in Scandinavia that there is no such a thing as bad weather, only bad clothing. In Rome, Milan, Paris, London, take this one as a rule. You cannot smell the sea, you cannot see the seashore, you cannot wear your flip-flops. Last but not least about clothing. Number 3, and have a crossbody bag. Rome is crowded with pickpocketing, misadvantages, and especially touristy places, they are quite full of them. Opt for a crossbody bag for maximum security and never ever leave it unattended or just hanging off the chair at the restaurant. And also never leave it open when you walk around Rome. Rome is not a jungle, but unattended staff got snatched quite fast. Please be aware and look after your stuff. Number 3, and let's talk about eating in Rome and in Italy in general. If you've already seen some of my videos from Italy, you already know by now that there are 3 religions in this country: food, football and Catholicism, in this exact order. When it comes to food, Italian dishes are probably the most popular and famous in the world. We all love pasta, pizza, gelato, don't we? But if it's your first time ever in Italy, let me tell you some basic eating and drinking rules for this country. Breakfast. Breakfast is very light in Italy. It's usually a cup of coffee and a pastry. Forget about fried eggs, hash browns, sausages, porridge. It's not Italian style. About coffee now. No milky coffee after lunchtime in Italy. Please don't order cappuccino or cafe latte at 4 p.m. or you will look like an absolute tourist. Dinner. And traditional Italian dinner starts late. If you want to have a real traditional Italian dinner experience, be prepared to starve yourself until 7:30, 8 p.m. the earliest. Right away a checklist for you what you should never ever do in any traditional restaurant in Italy. Never cut your pasta with a knife. No, God forbid, it's the largest sin of all in Italy. It's considered to be a crime against Italian humanity. Don't ask for spaghetti with meatball. This creature doesn't exist in Italy. In Madai there are 2 separate dishes: spaghetti and meatballs, polpette. Never mix them together, please. Don't expect to have chicken in your pasta or on your pizza. It does not exist in Italy either. Moving to pizza. Guys, there is no such thing in Italy as pizza with pineapple. Don't ask your waiter in Italy to cut your pizza for you. You're not a kid, you can do it yourself. We have pasta here with a wine and pizza with beer. And God forbid you to have any food with cappuccino. It's also a crime against Italian humanity. Last but not least, fine, you're not in France, you can eat your pizza with your hands. No problem with it in Italy. Actually, this is how it's supposed to be done. Pizza should be eaten with your hands. Number 4, and let's talk about manners when you're in Italy. Learn a few words in Italian. You don't need to speak Italian perfectly to enjoy Rome, but knowing several phrases in Italian will help a lot. Per favore, please, grazie, thank you will be quite enough in the majority of touristy places, and you will be treated a little bit better. Sometimes Romans might seem a little bit grumpy, and making a little effort to speak their own language might help you to win their smile. If you're curious to know what exact Italian phrases can make your trip here unforgettable, you probably should watch one of my previous videos. I gave you some key phrases how to melt Italian heart when you speak their language. Quick checklist here. As soon as we enter any place in Italy, like a bar, cafe, restaurant, the first thing we're saying is buongiorno or buonasera, depending on the time of the day. Greeting people you meet with kissing them in both cheeks is absolutely normal here, even if you met them for the first time. If you know their names, no second thought. Just go and give them 2 kisses in both cheeks. Just don't hug them. This thing is exactly the same with French people. Hugging is way too intimate and it's reserved for very close people. You are leaving the place. Grazie, arrivederci, and this is your mantra. You can be saying this all the time, no matter what time of the day it is. It works. Little advanced tourist trick how to get additional discounts in Italy. You are entering a little shop or a cafe in Italy and you say bonjour. Romans will probably roll their eyes like vabbè, un altro francese. And then you go, scusa, sono inglese o americana, it's up to you, ma parlo italiano un po'. When they realize that first, you're not French and second, you are making an effort to speak their language, you will get the best service possible in Rome. No need to thank me, but if you can click that like button, it will definitely make me happier. Grazie. Let's talk about serious stuff. Vitals in Italy. Always have your ID with you. In Italy, it is compulsory to have your ID with you all the time. So always make sure you have a form of identification with you. If you don't want to carry your passport, make sure that you have any other form of ID with your picture on it, like driving license, for example. In the unlikely case, if the officer asks, carry some cash. While you should certainly avoid carrying lots of cash with you, some cash on you is important to have in Rome. While credit and debit cards are accepted in the majority of hotels and the restaurants for small purchases, they're not really good. You cannot buy gelato with them or some small souvenirs or some street food. So having some small cash with you in Rome is paramount. Opt for small notes whereas it's possible. Paying a €5 purchase with €50 note will not make any friends for you in Italy, believe me. And some smaller shops can actually deny to serve you if they don't have or don't want to use up the change. Don't rely on Wi-Fi in Rome. Wi-Fi is dreadful in Rome. Sometimes when you open all those available networks, you might be surprised how many of them are actually open. Bad news for you here, they don't usually work. Get a local SIM card and make sure you have a good data plan on it, especially if you're planning to use not only Google Maps but also some apps while you're in Italy. You better avoid using public transport in Rome. Few experiences are more irritating in Rome than having to deal with the city's public transport system. While the network of buses, trams and metro is extensive, especially the first two, the buses follow the schedule which is erratic at best and are often so crowded that you really find it hard to believe that the locals can cope with it at all. Granted, it's not the experience with all buses and all the time, but if you rely on bus journeys every single day, it will impact on the quality of your trip significantly. If you can, especially on your first ever trip to Rome, try to walk and only use the bus when it's absolutely necessary. Decide how many days you're going to stay. If you're interested in seeing Rome's main sites only, you will be able to cover a lot of ground just staying for 2 days in the city. If you want to see some of the museums and also go for some shopping in town, you will need at least 4 days here. Even after living in Rome for 6 months last summer, still every time I'm coming here, I'm getting lost every single time, but you know what? I love it. It's one of the best things you can possibly do in Rome, to get lost. Buonasera. Ciao. Ciao. Most important thing summertime, water. Grazie, buona serata. Grazie. Arrivederci. Another thing you should never do when you're in Rome to buy bottled water. My mistake was that I came out of the house without having a bottle with me. For those of you who saw one of my previous videos, you already know that there are more than 2,000 fountains in Rome. They're called Nazzoni, and that water is absolutely clean and perfectly drinkable. So my advice for those of you who are coming to Rome for the first time, save your money and don't buy €1 bottled water from the supermarket. And let's talk about travel around Italy. And don't visit Rome only. I know it's the capital, I know it's beautiful, I know it's full of history, but other Italian cities are so beautiful too. They all have its own history, its own culture, and of course, its own delicious, unforgettable food. So my advice, if it's your first ever time to visit Rome and you are coming from far away from the United States, let's say, take at least 2 weeks to visit Italy for the first time. Stay in Rome for 4 days at max, and after that go somewhere else, like to the seaside, for example. Try gorgeous Sicily or relaxed and chill Sardinia, or go to Tuscany or to Piemonte if you're a fan of mountains or hiking. Italy will never disappoint you, especially if you follow my advice. Thank you so much guys for watching this one too, hope you enjoyed it. By the way guys, I never asked you, which country you prefer in my videos, Norway, England, France or Italy? Please let me know in the comment section down below. This is the sound which spoils every video from Italy. Please drop it in the comments down below, I will be happy to see your opinion. Stay safe, be happy, and as our... Welcome to Rome. Stay safe, be happy, as our tradition goes. I will see you next week. Only God knows from which country. Stay safe guys, love you so much. Ci vediamo ragazze, a presto, bye!